Hi there, glad you could join me. I'm out in the woods again, as you can see, and today I want to test and review a new axe. It's the Gränsfors Outdoors Axe. It's a small axe and it's very light. It was designed by the Swedish survival expert Lars Fält, and he is actually a survival expert. I know many people these days they claim to be, but he is the real deal. And together with Gränsfors, he designed this small axe. It weighs only 500 grams. It is very sharp. I'm crossing some it's not so nice. The weather is not so nice now. It's the end of November and we have snow here in Norway now, as you can see. And this path is very muddy. Okay, I'm going to find a nice spot to set up camp, and I haven't brought a knife. I'm going to use this axe to process firewood, and we'll see how that goes. I want to see how it carves. Now I'm not very skilled at carving with an axe. I have done it a few times, but I do prefer a knife. Now This is a very small axe, as you can see. Now that I've used it to chop down this little tree, I must say I'm not totally comfortable with this very thin handle. It feels a bit awkward to me, but it's I guess it's about habit. My other axes, they have traditional axe handles. So now let's see if I can make a feather stick. And this is going to be, yeah, easier than I thought actually. I was going to say this is going to be a little bit difficult, but it's not. I do apologize for the sound that you're hearing. It's my tarp, and the wind is coming now, and we have some bad weather coming. So let's see now. Little one here. Let's see now. It's if I can make a mini feather stick. Yeah. Let me check if I have this on camera, if I'm in the picture. Yes. Now, I guess there are people watching this who are much better at carving with an axe than I am, but I'm doing my best here. Let's see. I'm getting the hang of it now. Now, I have made feather sticks with an axe before, of course, but it's I guess I'm very much a knife person. Now, yeah, I think we're about that should do it. I'm going to chop a little bit more of the tree so that I know I'll have enough to boil some water. Now the trick when you're chopping wood like this, you put when you put your piece of wood flat like this, is to give it a little twist. Well, at that moment when the axe hits the wood, you give it a little sideways twist. Maybe it's a little bit hard to see when I do it, but it's it splits the wood much easier. Well, actually, you can do it when you have your wood standing upright. Hang on, I'm going to say something now that I feel is very important. Okay. Stoop down. Hello. Yes, I don't like axes with a short handle. The reason is that when you get tired, maybe if you've been hiking for many days, and when you get tired, it's very easy to do like this when you're chopping wood. If you have a your piece of wood here and you're very tired and you're holding it like this and you're chopping your thumb off. Okay, so an axe with a longer handle, a heavier axe, will kind of force you to use both hands, which is much safer. At least that's my personal opinion, because I've seen some accidents. I've been lucky myself, but I'm not going to lie here and say that I haven't made mistakes with the axe, because I have, especially when I was younger and in winter out in the woods. Sometimes I had the axe, I never did like this. No, I didn't, because when I was a kid I heard a story about a relative of mine, some great uncle, who chopped his thumb off. And the story goes that he was out chopping wood and he got back in, and his wife sensed that he was very grumpy, grumpier than usual actually, and it appeared that he had chopped his thumb off. I don't know if it's true, but the story says that he yes, he did chop his thumb off, but he did finish an arm's length of wood before he carried the wood back inside, of course. Yes. So take care when you're chopping wood. Be careful. Now, I don't want to use the edge of the axe, so I'm going to use this part, which is going to be a little bit challenging because it's not sharp, it's rounded a little bit, so I'll have to use some effort here. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not moving this closer, it's because I know some of you will probably suggest that, but the reason is that if I bump my hand into this stump here, I can cut myself, because the edge is much sharper than most knives. So I want to keep some distance. So I'd rather do this many times. Now this fatwood that I brought, normally it's on my hand, the handle of my ferro rod. I would use this, make a powder I'm going to try to make a powder with the axe. Try to shave off some really thin shavings here. Now, what I'm learning now is that it's not, an axe can never replace a knife. This would be very easy with a knife. It's not so easy with this axe. No, it's no good. I'm going to have to use the edge of the axe. And I'll resharpen it when I get back home. There you go. Okay. Sorry, axe. This axe, it comes with a leather sheath. I feel like I've abused this axe a little bit now, but really an axe that can't be used for almost everything is not worth having. That's my personal opinion. So now I know that I can start a fire with a ferro rod if I have a ferro rod and only this axe. So I know it's not supposed to be used that way, but that's life. And I'm going to sharpen the edge when I get back home. I can feel that it has not, it's still very sharp. I can't really feel a difference actually. I got a phone call. It's Tuesday and I think it's about 10 o'clock now, so I should be I'm skipping my work day now. But I'm a novelist, so I can do what I like in a way, you know. So, but I think I've been on the phone for half an hour now, and the fire died. while I was talking. But anyway, the axe is I don't know if I wouldn't give this axe like 10 out of 10 points. It is a very good axe, don't get me wrong, but it's also, I feel it's so small that it kind of, its use is a bit limited. And I do get the point, you know, it weighs half a kilo, so it's supposed to be light, but still, if I was out hiking, I would bring a larger axe. But that's just me. I would prefer a larger axe. It is very good for carving, but not so much for chopping. That's my initial impression. Okay. Cheers. It is very nice to take a couple of hours off from your working day and just walk into the woods. I'm not very far from my home. And I work from home. As a novelist, I have my office at home, so that's one of the benefits of being a novelist, I guess. And also I got up, I woke up at 4 o'clock AM this morning. No point going back to sleep then, so I just started writing, which means that by, I think, about 8 I was finished for the day, and I have the rest of the day off. I'm not so often in this part of the woods. The woodland in where I live here is separated by one road, and I tend to stick to my my side of the road where my house is. And now I have crossed the road actually, so I'm in the foreign part of the forest, so to speak. So, am I a fan of this axe? I just told you, I just said that I wouldn't give it like 10 points out of 10 possible points. But there's something about it. It feels very alive in your hand. And this is probably well, let me put it this way. I think this is a modern Viking axe. This axe looks a little bit like there's a very beautiful axe at the museum in Oslo from the Viking Age. It looks a bit like this. It feels very much alive and feels a bit like a tomahawk. When I first picked up this axe, my first thought was that this is a fighting axe actually. It feels so alive in your hand. But I'm just going to fight firewood. But anyway, it's time for me to get back home now. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for spending this time with me out here in the woods. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, then and you liked this video, then please consider subscribing. I'm trying to post a video every week, every weekend, so there will be a new video every Friday or every Saturday. So until I see you next time, take care.